Have they ever seen another like me living giant type step in your house and put my head on your ceiling? Climbed out of the bottomless pit to let the truth slip and slide off my tongue and swine dive off my lips. No longer holding on, I'm tired of applying the grip. Forget the fancy shiny rappers, I'm supplying the gifts. I feel it's only right to tell you that I'm going in.
What's going on, man? It's your boy, Big Mike Raider, host of the Big Mike Raider podcast and writer and contributor for Planet Raiders. Guys, I got a quick short video for you guys, but before we get this thing started, I need for you guys to like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. Now, let's get into it. All right. In an interview with Jason Whitlock, former Raider Warren Sapp discussed shortly on what was going on with the Raiders, the culture with the Raiders, particularly regarding Josh McDaniels. I'm going to give you guys my reaction to what he said. But it's pretty interesting what he did say. He is talking about culture. He is talking about the Patriot Way. And he's talking about, kind of today's football and how that kind of pertains to the Patriot Way. And is it in this current landscape of football, is it possible to still kind of have that kind of mentality as a coach, a my way or the highway type of approach? Guys, I'm not going to hold you guys for too long. I'm going to let you guys hear what he said on the Jason Whitlock show, and I'll give my reaction. So without further ado, let's jump into it.
Your thoughts about the Las Vegas Raiders and their culture.
Who's leading the culture? Can I ask a question before I, get too, philosophical or esoteric?
Josh McDaniels.
And that
Josh
culture,
McDaniels.
Yeah. And that culture would be the guy that drafted Tim Tebow, right? Yeah. The culture in Raider land should be Raider Nation friendly. This ain't New England. It's very simple. You don't come into a place and get rid of your quarterback that this guy came to that team to play with. And then you get rid of the tight end who's 6 foot something, nice athlete working with the homeless people down in the gutters of Vegas or whatever. You get rid of him too. You walked in the door. Abrams no longer could be a safety. I mean, come on. There's handwriting on the wall. I mean, what did he do in Denver that was so lovely that all of a sudden, or what does he do in these meetings that is so, mesmerizing because his record stinks as a head coach in the National Football League? So what culture is he talking about? That's like a coach saying all the time, do what we do, and you don't know what the hell that is, and you don't practice nothing to do what we do. I mean, like, what is that? Like, come on, man. Stop. Those are just words.
Davante Adams, you're saying, and I maybe have to agree with you. When you make the decision that he made to come play with Derek Carr, and they run Derek Carr out of there, and then Darren Waller, they move on from him, and Davante's like, hey, what? The reasons I came here are gone, and Davante Adams wants to be gone, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure Josh wants him gone too. Yeah, come on, man. Let's not play with this. Come on, Josh wants his guys to do it his way, and these kids ain't doing that no more. They don't even do it in New England no more. Come on. That's good. That's dead. That's dead. You got to change. That's why Mike Krzyzewski and all of them, Roy Williams and all them great coaches in, up and down college football said, college basketball said, I'm going home. It's a whole different ball game. Come on. It ain't what it used to be.
Don't stop there. I'm saying, this is why I call you the greatest guy talking football, because you done made some points here. You think even in New England you can't? The my way or the highway thing is out the window.
Dead as a doorknob. Dead as a doorknob. You can look at the tape. You can look at the penalties, but you ain't cutting them no more. You can't. You got to ride with it. This is what you pick. This is your crop. And it's a bunch of them in there that just do it their way. It's crazy. I watch it every day on film. I turn that tape on, I'm like, my God, is this practice mode? Is this really a New England team? Hey, man, I'm telling you, it's some crazy stuff going on, man. These young men. I won't do kids. I'm just 50. I'm not a grandfather yet. Then when I get a grandfather and, sit on grandpa lap, then I'll say kids. But right now, these young men, they're playing a different game, Whitlock. You know this. They are. They're not even practicing.
I do.
So you guys heard what Warren Sapp has to say. Now, here's my thoughts on this one. Now before I do get started, right? Warren Sapp, he's not really a favorable guy in Raider Nation. There's a lot of people who really dislike what he's done, what he did, leaving the Raiders, and kind of even a little bit after that. There's some guys that he's not a favorable guy, right? But he makes a good point. And the point that I do like the most, where he does say, is about the being Raider Nation friendly in Raiderland, and kind of his approach to the game, and how he brought the Patriot Way to the Raiders. To me, initially, when he did come to the Raiders, I really thought it wasn't a fit because of that. The culture of the Raiders, we're not a squeaky clean type of franchise where we're going to do things the Patriot way. We're actually the opposite of that. So I thought that initially that Mark Davis really kind of missed the mark as far as bringing somebody that fits our culture and what we do historically as far as the Raiders go. And then on top of that, like his track record with the Broncos and being a head coach and things like that, I didn't think he was a leader of men. Kind of also how he kind of did the Colts dirty when he went over there, had a job for like a day, and then he kind of left. I thought that, he wasn't really the most honest person, right? Now fast forward, we're looking 20 games into his into his tenure with the Raiders. He's 7-13. And to me, he's leaving a lot to the imagination. The offense is sputtered. And it doesn't look as good as it did when initially he got here. And you can say what you want, right? Derek Carr and Waller, yeah, they got shipped out. To me, that's kind of where I think he kind of misses the mark as far as Darren Waller goes. Darren Waller is not really a reliable guy, as you guys know, on the field to be available. So I think we got rid of him at the right time. And then Derek Carr, he struggled with this offense. Now, I will say this, regardless of how you feel about Derek Carr, Davante Adams came to play with his buddy, right? And things didn't work out. And now we're left in a situation where we kind of have a patchwork job, and Jimmy G is not really getting the job done. And that's frustrating for a guy like Davante Adams, who had a different expectation coming into it. Now, saying all that, you had an expectation from the beginning with Derek Carr, how you were going to run this offense. You had an expectation with Darren Waller and all these guys that came forward. Now those guys are gone, and we're trying to replace those guys, and they're not getting it done. And to me, it just seems like the Raiders have an identity problem, 100% an identity problem. We're not that same hit you in the mouth, kind of mold from Al Davis from back in the day, air it out type of deal. We're trying to do things in the Patriot way that doesn't necessarily work in today's game. Now, he does mention the Patriot way, and my way goes my way is the highway kind of deal. And in today's game, I don't think it works. Now, the reason why I say it doesn't work is because you look at it from a high school level, an athlete coming from the high school level, a 4 or 5 star, even a 3-star, right? They start out, they're coddled from the beginning. In today's game, these guys are getting coddled from the high school level, right? They have an opportunity to even transfer to wherever school they want to go to if things aren't working out. They get better opportunities, better look, better publicity, things like that, right? NIL deals are also in the play. They go to college, it's the same thing. So when you get to the pros, they're so used to, for years, right? 6-7 years into playing football, they're so used to being coddled and being, the guy like, hey, you're the guy. We're going to run things kind of around you. You're centered. It's a player-centric league, right? It's a player-centric game now. Player empowerment. And in a world of player empowerment, that Patriot Way just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So if you're trying to bring that Patriot Way to the Raiders in this new age, a lot of guys are going to be like, I don't want any part of that. You even heard it earlier this season that there's guys coming out in that locker room saying it's just not fun anymore. And that's because it's that my way or the highway mentality. And I don't think it's going to work out. And in that situation, guys are going to kind of not really sell out when it's time to sell out. Execution is not as crisp and things like that. And if things go wrong quickly, you're going to lose your locker room. You know, everybody's going to be out for self at that point. So that's, for me, I think that's why it just doesn't work. And that's an identity problem in today's game, right? To where it's not 100% necessarily coach is, you know, end all, be all, say all kind of guy. It's more of like the players kind of have the empowerment and we kind of run the show. And, you know, you're being a coach, but at the same time, like, we're working collectively as a group. And to me, Josh McDaniels doesn't seem like the type of guy that would adjust. And you've seen it in years past, right, with the Broncos, where, you know, he was with the Broncos players in the past. They say, you know, this guy's a horrible guy, horrible coach, this and that, and really said some negative things about him, particularly Brandon Marshall, Matt McChesney, got a bunch of guys that played under Josh McDaniels. Now you fast forward with the Raiders, and you got this whole Davante Adams situation, and now he's like unhappy with what's going on. Now, he did say that it was against coaching. It wasn't against coaching. He's kind of calling the players out. But to me, you keep losing, you're going to start looking at the coaches like, what's really going on? I'm not really buying into what you got going on. This shit isn't fun anymore. So that's kind of what I see with this team. And I think that the Patriot Way is dead. I think that in today's game, you just can't do that. End all be all, you know, this is my team. You're going to do what I say, do your job type of deal. It's to be a collective effort and kind of coming together and work towards winning together. Now, and I agree with Warren Sapp when he says that about today's game. Even the Patriots, you don't even see it over there. So that's how I feel about it. We are in an identity crisis. We need to figure it out. And I think it won't be figured out until we get rid of Josh McDaniels, to be honest with you. And I think that a guy like Davante Adams won't be happy until Josh McDaniels is gone. And that means he's going to have to be gone, and then we're going to be looking for another quarterback next year. That's what I think about it. Guys, what do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about Warren Sapp's comments in this thing? What do you think about him saying that this hire for Josh McDaniels isn't Raider Nation friendly? What did you guys think at the initial hiring, and what do you guys feel about it now? Sound off in the comments. I want to hear what you guys say about it. But with that, I'm your boy, Big Mike Raider, writer and contributor for Planet Raiders. And you guys have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Have they ever seen another like me, living giant type, step in your house above my head on your ceiling, climbed out of the bottomless pit to let the truth slip and slide off my tongue and swine dive off my lips, no longer holding on, I'm tired of applying the grip, forget the fancy shiny rappers I'm supplying.